Hi guys, we are still at chapter 2, Taxation for Trust, and in the second part of the video, we are going to focus on the distributions to beneficiaries. So before this, we have already discussed that if the trustee made a distribution to beneficiaries which are not an annuity, it is not deductible. However, the provision to Section 61, subsection 2 permits an exception. There are situations where the distributions made to the beneficiaries is deductible. The condition is that both the trust body, trust body, and the beneficiaries are resident. So, when the trust body and the beneficiaries are resident for the basis year for YA, the Director General of IRB may allow the beneficiaries' shares of income as a deductions. So you have to remember that the original principle is that distributions to beneficiaries is not deductible. However, if Section 61, subsection 2 applied, the distribution made to beneficiaries is allowed to be deducted from trust total income. The conditions to be able to apply this section is that both trust body and beneficiaries are resident for tax purpose. The total income and tax payable will remain the same whether we apply Section 61, subsection 2 or not, but this practice would improve the cash flows of the beneficiaries. Here I show you the application of Section 61, subsection 2. Okay, let's look at the first one first. Section 61(2) not to be applied. If we do not apply 61 subsection 2, then here distribution made to beneficiaries is not deductible. Therefore here we put it as nil. Sebab tak boleh tolak kan. Hanya annuity sahaja yang dibenarkan untuk tolak. On the other hand, if the section 61 subsection 2 is to be applied, meaning that trust body and the beneficiaries, this one, both are resident, DG may allow for section 61 subsection 2 to be applied. So bila 61(2) boleh di-apply, therefore distribution to beneficiaries is deductible. Here kita akan tolak berapa amount distributes to beneficiaries. These are the difference between 61(2) to be applied or not to be applied. Here sahaja dia punya perbezaan dekat distribution made to beneficiaries. So what are the implications of applying Section 61 subsection 2? We have three implications here. First, let's look at to the treatment for distribution to beneficiaries. If we apply 61 subsection 2, then distribution to beneficiaries is deductible here. Prinsip asal tak boleh tolak, tapi kalau apply 61(2), distribution made to beneficiaries, berapa yang pemegang amanah dah buat payment kepada waris dibenarkan untuk tolak. Second effect is on the chargeable income of a trust body. Bila dekat sini 61(2) apply ni, kita dah tolak distribution made to beneficiaries, it will result in lower chargeable income. Meaning that trust body tak bayarkan lagi tax bagi pihak waris. Trust body belum bayarkan lagi income tax bagi pihak waris. Okay? So, dia akan lead to the third effect, availability of Section 110 tax credit for the beneficiaries. If Section 61 subsection 2 to be applied, kita tolak distribution kepada waris yang menyebabkan lower chargeable income for the trust body. Therefore, beneficiaries could not claim tax credit against income tax payable. Okey, I ulang lagi sekali. Prinsip asal, the original principle is that distribution made to beneficiaries is not deductible. So, bila tak boleh tolak, it will lead to higher chargeable income for the trust body. So, trust body akan bayarkan tax bagi pihak waris. Waris, bila dia dah dapat income from trust body, dia tak akan dikenakan double tax. Therefore, waris boleh claim tax credit against income tax payable. Ni untuk situation number 1 lah. Section 61(2) not to be applied. There will be situation where DG will allow Section 61 subsection 2 to be applied. Remember tadi, dia punya keadaan ataupun syarat, both trust body and beneficiaries are resident. So, bila dua-dua tu, badan amanah dengan waris adalah resident, kita boleh apply 61(2). So, bila kita apply 61(2), distribution to beneficiaries is deductible. Nak dapatkan chargeable income untuk trust body, kita akan tolak dulu berapa amount distribute to beneficiaries yang menyebabkan chargeable income tu akan jadi lagi rendah. So, bila dia dah keluarkan nilai yang dibahagikan kepada waris, maksudnya trust body belum lagi bayarkan tax bagi pihak waris. Therefore, waris tak boleh claim tax credit against income tax payable. Okay, so you have to make sure that you able untuk differentiate ataupun able to discuss the implication of Section 61 subsection 2. Alright, now we are going to touch a bit on beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are the beneficial or equitable owners of the trust property. So remember, settler wants to transfer the properties to the beneficiaries, but dia tak buat secara direct, dia tak transfer direct, dia ada menggunakan orang tengah, which is the trustee. When the time comes, dah sampai waktunya, trustee akan bagi balik properties tu kepada waris. So, sebenarnya waris lah yang owner of the trust property bila sampai waktulah. Depending on the terms of the trust, beneficiaries will receive income or the property itself at the appointed time. So, ada juga badan amanah yang di-create supaya generate income. Income tu akan didistribute kepada waris dan bila sampai maturity dates, waktu matang dia tu, property tu akan diberikan kepada waris. A beneficiary is subject to tax on his or her shares of income of the trust. Bila waris dapat income daripada trust, that income is subject to tax. Kita akan assess on gross amount under Section 4E. So, you kena make it clear, beneficiaries ni, dia akan dapat income, mungkin kalau dia ada buat business, so dia dapat income bawah Section 4A, business income. Waris ni juga bekerja, so dia dapat employment income, Section 4B. Dia mungkin juga buat investment, dia dapat income dalam bentuk dividend or interest, kita letak bawah Section 4C. And if waris dapat juga income daripada trust body. That income kita letakkan bawah section 4E. Okay. The share of income received from trust is net income, meaning that the trust body have already paid the tax on behalf of the beneficiaries. However, the beneficiary will be assessed on gross amount. Walaupun nilai yang waris dapat adalah net of tax, dah tolak tax siap-siap, for tax purpose, bila kita nak assess balik berapa income untuk waris, kita akan guna gross amount. Kita tak akan ambil net, kita ambil gross balik. To avoid double taxation, the tax payable by the trust is available as a tax credit to the beneficiary. So, there is some issue here because beneficiary receive the income net of tax, meaning that trust body already paid some portion of tax on behalf of the beneficiaries. However, when we do the tax for waris, kita ambil balik gross amount. Jadi macam there is possibility that waris akan kena bayar tax 2 kali on the same income. To avoid that, avoid double taxation, waris boleh claim tax credit sebabnya income tax sudah dibayar oleh trust body bagi pihak waris. But then, the availability of tax credit against, you have to look at the application of section 61 subsection 2. Ada situasi yang dia boleh claim tax credit, ada juga keadaan yang dia tak boleh nak claim tax credit. Look at again your application of 61(2). Here, we're going to look at the income of beneficiaries. We know that if beneficiaries receive income from trust body, we will put it under which section? Section 4E. And under this section, section 4E, the income received from trust will be categorized into two. First one, we have ordinary source, and second one, we have further source. For ordinary source, it is the entitlement of a beneficiary to the total income of the trust. So this one is considered as ordinary source. Berapa yang waris layak untuk dapat daripada trust total income. Itu yang dikira sebagai ordinary source for a beneficiaries. Determination of the amount of ordinary source will depend on the types of trust. So, bila nak tentukan berapa nilai yang waris dapat dan kita nak masukkan bawah ordinary source for beneficiaries, kita kena tengok the types of trust. Sebab jenis trust akan menentukan berapa ordinary source untuk seorang waris. The second category here we have further source. This one referring to the source of income where beneficiary receive a share of the trust income from overseas. And as we know, any income received from overseas will be considered as foreign source income, and starting YA 2004, foreign source income is exempted from tax. So from here, we can conclude that for income of beneficiaries that we are going to put under section 4E, you only have one source, which is the ordinary source only, because further source is from overseas, foreign source income is exempted from tax.